You guys remember that story that we spoke about yesterday of the video that was trending from the St. John, where these two couple were together doing mommy and daddy business outside, out of this, they were supposed to be in church, they were doing whatnot. You'll remember that there was people that posted her picture, and I was like, this always turns bad. Sometimes when I mentioned that, so I scratched out her face, because sometimes it tends to be that people will do this. They will attach whatever picture out there. Some people do these things because they don't like church. Just period. Anything that looks like church to them, devil. They don't care what, where, how it looks, which one, true what. They don't care. It's all bundled up into one. That's the subject matter I want to talk about pertaining our conduct on social media, particularly as a Christian. We should watch how we conduct ourselves out there. It's actually a show with daily Christian commentary videos. So on my video, I scratched the face of the lady, and then I found someone had retweeted the lady who was put in that video. Okay, and when I found the lady who has been put, we found the particular person who had said that they found who the girl was. And it looks like that's where it came from. It's this person who attached, they just came out, attached that girl's pictures. Unfortunately for that girl, she had just posted that she had come from church. If you check her post, by the time when it was said we found her, the girl had just posted that she was just coming from church 8 hours ago. Someone just went and stitched her pictures. So now this girl is out trying to correct this narrative that that's her. The first things first, out of that picture, even when you kind of like get into it, you'd notice that the girls' uniforms are not the same. First off, her uniform has a blue thing that goes over here. St. John, this particular girl here, doesn't have that. It's just a thing. So this person just went and took any person. And people on social media, they're like this. They will do these things. They will attach anything, any picture. The other time, I spoke about a story that was fake, that was being spread out, of a man. They said that this man, the pastor stole from him. I looked for the original source of that story, and there was no such a story. Okay? Social media people tend to have these tendencies of doing this type of things. So please, if you're a Christian, be careful participating in that behavior. Okay? Because people were even in the comment section, okay, saying that even the uniform is different. Someone said her uniform, it's not even the same uniform that people are talking about. This one even stated St. James Yabaholo, something along those lines, and that particular video is from St. John. It's a very different church. It's not even the same church. That was someone that had commented to that girl. And then her herself, she had said, so I posted myself in church, in uniform, at 6 a.m., only after to see that she's been attached to a video that she knew nothing about. And then that other person then comments about the differences in the churches and stuff like that. Okay? So this girl is out trying to clear her name because someone just went and stitched her video, her pictures, where she was in church, to a random thing. Someone was even saying, they should sue the person who actually did that. There's these bad actors on social media nowadays. This is very popular. They'll do this. They'll attach a person, say the person is dead, something like that, along those lines. This is slightly just about the same thing. Someone finding a story that has nothing to do with how they just attach a picture. This brings up a very important subject. There are people on social media who love this exposure subject. Exposing, right? But you will notice something about them. They expose, there's nothing that they point to. So there's no authority point that they point to. I'll give you an example. As a Christian or as an apologist, when I expose falsehood, I point to the Bible. Okay? When we expose all this self-consciousness teachings and all these type of things, we point to who? Christ. We point to the structure that the Bible gives us for what a body of Christ looks like, contrary to these ideas. There are certain things that people do that will tell you this exposure lacks Jesus. It's like a person like Musa Kaula. This guy called Musa Kaula on Twitter. He now just always exposes people. Hey, what, it's there. But there's nothing he points to. There's no point of authority by which he does that, because there's no reference point to what he's saying. Even in church, there's something similar. You notice all these people that love exposing, thinking, or spirituality exposing and what and all this, but they don't know the Bible, so they don't have anything to point to but themselves. Be very careful with that, because heresies spread like that. They have no church affiliation, but they want to correct church. You'll always find that they have issues with church. This is why people... that's why in that video that I did yesterday, I was saying, there's a lot of high moral points that they like out of this. They like seeing church people doing things that are wrong, whether it be right doctrine or wrong doctrine. You know, they like it when people who look like they are in church do something wrong. Because why? It validates they are in the wrong. They're like, yeah, they are fun. It's an illusion that the devil is selling you. It's an illusion that the devil is selling you, because he knows you'll buy into that idea, which is fun. As fun, a person who has a relationship with God, a person who has a restored relationship with God, is at a point of which he is now at a point of being discipled to being a better experience when you interact with them. There's a difference. God is working on this one. We don't know. You know, we just hope you have your darts in there. You have your darts in your pocket. We just hope. Or Zamba zod. Zamba ganj. We just have to hope, or otherwise you'll hear people that are very exposed, and they don't have the Bible to expose. They can only point to themselves. Point of enigma. He can't really, like, he say Jesus what and say Bible, say church, but at the end of it, my name is, and then he speaks about himself. Why? There is nothing they point to. There is no point of authority for what they were just saying. So as a result, he can only point to himself. Be very careful of that. It's a very narcissistic ground where people that do that point to a higher point of authority, because they don't have to cite authority. Okay? So people that speak about commentary within politics, they speak about the Constitution, right? People that speak about media standard, they speak about the Board of Trustees for Head of Communications in South Africa, right? Those are the standards that they will talk about. And then when you talk about journalists, they have a body to which they answer. Doctors, they have a point of authority to which they cite to. Christian, religious thing, they have a book. Each one has a book to which they cite to. Christians particularly, the Bible, Jesus, the church. These are their point of these are the things that they point to. The Bible in specific. Be careful of when you see people, because there's a lot of it. Expose. But then when you listen to there is nothing they point to. There is no point of authority they point to. A person like that can be very dangerous, because they will deceive you that they are in the truth so that they can teach you a lie. You think, okay, this person might know truth, because they are saying, because there is that thing that you see an obvious case of, like, there is no point of authority, particularly either God or Bible. You will notice it only evolves around them. It's a very important thing. It's important to note it. It's important to notice when people are like that or when people are doing that, because it is a red flag that comes as a result of a person you cannot trust when they give judgment. This is why you see things like this, where people will attach a picture of a person who's not even involved. Right? They have no point of authority to point back to. When we speak from a point of authority based on the things that we believe. People who are not religious, they will point back to their culture. This is not us. This is not how we are. All those type of things. There's something they point to. It must worry you when a person, what they point to is not clear. Why? They'll do things like that. You just go about attaching people who are not even involved in the picture and attach it. Why? Because they have no point of authority by which they stand on. It's very important. As you are interacting on social media, you are deciding what you follow, you are deciding what you are pointing to. Be very clear. Who does this person point to? What does this person point to? And does that reflect your values? Point to think of. It's Ricky. And I'll see you on a later on episode. Other episodes are to be down in the pinned comments. Please, if you see someone posting that, correct them. See someone sharing that on socials, correct them. We do not allow degradation. You are meant to be salt. Correct it. Don't have the girl's image ruined because someone thought it was fun. It's a joke. It's Ricky, and I'll see you later, and have a good one.